Welcome to An Empowered Woman. I'm Desiree Dubois, founder of An Empowered Woman, and we are a global membership-based networking community and resource center for women professionals and entrepreneurs. So we support women that are starting, fixing, and building their businesses through our web radio shows, TV shows, mastermind meetings, seminars, and awesome live events. And today I have the pleasure of being with one of our members, Crystal Moradi. Good morning, Crystal. How are you doing?
Good morning, Desiree. I'm doing great, thank you.
You are the Senior Vice President of PLJ Advisors.
Correct.
Yes, and you're also one of the senior income strategists, premier income strategists.
Yes. We basically, income being such a big, the most important thing for retirees, that's our focus, is really making sure that they are set for income during retirement, because that's one of the biggest lifestyle change that occurs if you are not set up the right way.
And it also differentiates you from being a financial advisor, so to speak. That's really specifically your focus, and that's what people can really depend on being able to accomplish when they're with you.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's our focus.
That's your focus. That's usually most people's focus as well.
You want to have income, right?
Yes, yes, yes. So I hear you talk about this female financial paradox. What is that?
Okay, very interesting. It's actually, especially as a woman, I find it extremely interesting because it really is, in a sense, a little bit of an oxymoron. Here is the situation. We're faced with a statistic that women nowadays, you're part of this group, as you can see, entrepreneurs all the time, they're making so much more money. They are really bringing themselves up to the next level. 45% of millionaires, Americans, are women.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you know that or
no,
not.
I didn't. That's
so
huge.
it's incredible. So that's one thing that's just wonderful. They're moving forward. Women are out there making, really making the world for themselves. And most of them are setting up the wealth for themselves. So they're the ones that are actually pushing for this. Now, at the same time this is happening, there are so many women reaching poverty level during retirement. So you can see where the balance just doesn't make sense. Why is this happening? And as a matter of fact, Daily Worth did a survey, and it was interesting because they did it on 10,000 women, and 90% of them admitted that they really are in charge of, all the bills and doing all the financial plan, everything that comes around the house, paying the bills, coupon cutting, whatever you want to think about, they do it. Then 76% out of them said that they are in charge of retirement planning themselves, nobody else, themselves. And out of that 76%, 60% said they have done a very poor, below average job of taking retirement planning seriously.
And why? Why would that be? They don't take it seriously when we are so dependent upon our funds for our lifestyle, and that affects everything, our families, ourselves, and many times our businesses.
Absolutely, and it just really changes your lifestyle. Even, let's take it to the level of, let's say you are making $500,000 a year, okay? You are out there, you're an entrepreneur, you're doing great. And now if you didn't plan right for retirement and you retire and now you're making $50,000 a year, what do you think that difference is? You're not maybe at poverty level, but your lifestyle has just drastically changed.
And especially if you put all those years of time, energy, and effort, and compromises and sacrifices that you've done to end up with that. It's not the way that you want to complete. But what causes that? What's the problem? What seems to be the problem?
Well, here's what we discovered throughout years of working with our clients and doing this research after this phenomena came out, and we're like, what is going on? What's actually happening out there that this is happening? We started looking at our own clients, and we found out that it's much easier for advisors to help their male clients than it is to help their female clients. And we're wondering, why is this happening? And we looked at it, and it takes 2 to 3 times longer to have a female client actually make a decision and move, even though in these cases, the strategy is right there for them. Making what they need to make is right there for them. It's black and white, and they love the plan. They're not making decisions. It's procrastination.
Really? I mean, women are so usually on top of everything and so aggressive about so much of our lives that I can imagine they would utilize that to slow them down.
Which is why, for me as a woman, this is so disturbing. I'm like, are you kidding me? Why is this happening? I don't know what it is about it, but it's about taking that next step and moving and really, making a decision and doing something about it and planning it. Now, I understand that maybe it's lack of education when it comes to the financial planning or wherever it may be, but procrastination is the reason why most women are facing this, because they're just not preparing themselves.
Well, it's interesting because they say that women hide their finances and they're not comfortable with finances. But you're providing the education, you're providing the plan, and they have the finances. So what can we do about that?
So we primarily focus on that to make sure that we are addressing all their needs. But you have to take the steps to get, from A to be. And I think, in a sense, stepping back, going, okay, maybe it's the way they're raised. It's the way maybe at a household, when you grew up, your father took care of all your finances, and then you went out and you got married and your husband took care of your finances. So we're trying to help them take the steps that they need to take so they don't have to give up their lifestyle. Because here's another thing, for divorced women, this was an interesting statistic for me to find out, that within 1 year of divorce, a woman's standard of living drops by 30%. Crazy.
I can believe it. I can believe it.
And the man increases by 10%.
Wow.
So there is definitely off balance with that. And then for widows, 80% of widows living in poverty were never poor before, when their husbands were alive.
Wow.
So that's, again, going that why did they pass this on to somebody else? And for me, when you asked me, what's the solution?
Yes.
It's immediate change, immediately taking an action. And again, it's not taking an action and not knowing what you're doing, because then you're going to be worse off than you were before.
Educated action.
Exactly, educated action. And one of the things that we have done as women, knowing this is an issue for women out there, and only as a woman, you know what a woman's needs are, right?
We know.
So we have created an actual 7-step program that we call the $1 Million Retirement to help them make informed, quick decisions about everything that's researched for them that fits them the right way. So it's taking them from that A to Z without them being confused, having them understand what's their financial personality, why are they making these wrong decisions, and then helping them make that quick decision that they can actually make a difference and have a wonderful retirement plan. Because I always say retirement is about a life vacation. It's not about, living paycheck to paycheck.
It is, and a lot of people are much, much older, especially since women traditionally live longer, and they're older and they're working as hard as they worked when they were younger, and that's not the plan that we wanted. So I think that you make it so easy for women by giving them the opportunities, and giving them the education, and giving them a plan to work with. It's really no excuse.
There really isn't. It's like you come in, you start with step 1. By the time you're done with step 7, you're all set. You're ready to go, and making it easy. And I think that's really what it is. I think for us, when we did the research and we stepped back and we're like, okay, what are the missing elements? We found those missing elements and we implement them into those steps. So then it makes it so easy for them to make a decision, because I don't want any woman not live the lifestyle that they're accustomed to during the best years of their life. That's the way I look at it.
And I appreciate that. And I think a big thing is too, is that to know that they're working with you, another woman, so you understand, what their needs and what their goals and their desires are. So ladies, if there's anything that's holding you back, if you're guilty of procrastination, change that, stop that. Now time is too precious, life is too precious, and your retirement is too precious. So visit Crystal, make an appointment with you for the information that you'll have. You have a complimentary consultations, yes? So
yes,
no obligation, no pressure, no nothing.
Absolutely not, because it's not about that. It's about, them understanding what's missing and what's right for them to make that next move.
Exactly. You've been very, very generous with educating our community, and I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, PLJ. So join us, and thank you so much for watching us today. And if you have any other questions, can contact an empowered woman. And until we meet again, stay empowered.